When originally briefed for this dive, I pictured abandoned webbing floating between coral formations like volleyball nets. Now, finally beneath the surface of the ocean, I scan the rocky, urchin-covered Samram Pinnacle, nestled in the Gulf of Thailand, through the clear, sun-filled water, and see none. Knowing I won't end up tangled in the net, I remind myself to breathe and let out a long, slow breath. As I inhale, my stomach expands and my chest rises. The image of the giant underwater boulder as a netted wasteland dissolves from my mind. Floating with the current, the three other interns and myself calmly drift along the rocky spire with each fin kick. Hi everyone! Thank you so much for joining us this morning as we explore these three different environments, and a special thanks to those of you who are zooming in from completely different time zones right now. So now that we've heard from Will about the litter that clutters our communities, I'm going to bring us to the ocean so that those of us who are landlocked right now can pretend we're on a beach for a little bit. My project focused on the need for better science communication, so I'm going to jump in. The excerpt that I just read was published in Seven Seas Online magazine and is one of my products for this program. Ever since I was really little, I've loved being next to the water. But as I grew up, I started to see more beaches and exploring more life underwater, and sadly started to realize that not all oceans and beaches are the same. While some are kept very clean and tidy from city taxes, other poorer areas are littered with plastic, cans, toothbrushes, flip-flops, you name it. This is about when I started to see that these fragile environments could so easily be degraded or even destroyed, and plastic and litter are far from the end of our problems. Climate change is creating warmer waters, causing coral decline. There is runoff, sedimentation, and other pollutants from coastal development. There are invasive species and poor fishing practices, just to name a few. All of these problems cause stress and destruction to marine environments. Following my passion has led me to begin to understand these ocean ecosystems better. By including this desire to learn more and my need to write, I've decided to take on a small role to lessen the gaps in knowledge between what scientists find and what the general public learns. We need more science communicators in order to learn more from the science and to use it to make better management decisions. My project took on two objectives to do so. First was to learn and research marine biology and coral reefs through field-based experience, and my second objective was to use this experience in order to enhance understanding around marine health issues through science communication. In order to accomplish my objectives, I thankfully had some help. I worked with High Country News, iCoral, and Corsi in order to complete my master's project. At High Country News, I worked with Brian Calvert, who is the editor-in-chief of the magazine and also my community sponsor. With Brian, I have been fact-checking for High Country News since October, and in return, Brian has given me great guidance and much-needed guidance when it comes to pitching a story and doing research on the publications that I'm pitching to. At iCoral, I worked with Dr. Robin T. Smith, who is the head marine biologist, and Jared Coviello, who is the marketing head. This was perfect for me because it gave me the opportunity to see how both the science and the communication side came together in order to create science communication. I first reached out to Jera in early summer because I was interested in iCoral, which is their platform which helps divers get involved in marine citizen science. We started chatting and decided that I would become their science communication intern. They have helped me to gain connections with other scientists and challenged me to look more critically at scientific studies and stay up to date on the studies that are coming out. At Corsi, I was a research intern. I went to Corsi this past fall from August to September for 2 months in order to gain hands-on experience and get acquainted with marine scientists who have been doing this research for much longer than myself. Corsi stands for Center for Oceanic Research and Education. Just in case you can't tell, this video is showing a fish survey being taken along a transect on a reef underwater. This was the first objective of my project, to gain hands-on experiences with marine ecosystems, and this experience just happened to be in Thailand this past fall, which has made it that much better. We learned how to complete different underwater surveys and take data as we swam along these transects every day. I wrote my first piece, which I read an excerpt from above, based off of my experiences in Thailand, and I'll go more into that soon, don't worry. One more thing that I wanted to mention from my Corsi experience is that it was tremendously helpful to get more global perspectives. There were other interns there from all over the world, and as we sat in the lab, we talked about different issues and had discussions of different topics that are coming up in the marine ecosystems today. Okay, yay, we've made it. This is what I really wanted to show you guys. So this is my piece, Haunted Waters, on Seven Seas Media website. So if you haven't already, please go and check it out and give it a read. I wrote this piece about ghost net removals that took place at Sam Rand Pinnacle. More specifically, I wrote it because this was a topic that surprised me when I first started talking about it at the Corsi facility and when the ghost net removal was first introduced to us. I don't want to give away the entire story because I think that it would be good for you guys to go and learn a little bit more about it, but basically put, in some unique instances, it might actually be better to leave certain plastics in the ocean that are already there. I'm not saying to go and litter or put more plastic in the ocean, but if it's already been there for a while, sometimes it might be helpful. So, most people who know about marine environments know that there's a lot of trash and litter, since Will just educated us on that difference. But many don't know specifically where it comes from. The main source of plastic pollution in the ocean is from discarded fishing gear. And just in case you aren't familiar as well, a ghost net is a piece of fishing net, that was left behind from a fishing boat. The nets cause a lot of sea life fatalities. So my goal with writing is to take complex issues like these ones and make them more enjoyable for the public by weaving story, facts, and science all together. That way, we can educate ourselves and be better informed about the world around us. My second and much more complex story is not yet published. This one has been a lot of work, but it's also been so neat to work on, and I'm really excited to do more pieces that are similar. So hopefully soon when I finish up the final touches on it, it'll be on its way. This story goes into the debate on the effectiveness of coral restoration practices. I worked closely with Robin and Jara for this piece, as they helped me to connect with a few scientists to get more perspectives from, so thank you guys for that, and they also introduced me to the idea early on this past fall. Overall, I talked to two of the top organizations working on restoration practices in the Florida Keys, 4 scientists, and 1 longtime and very observant diver. For me, the story transformed over and over and over again in my head. When I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to say, I'd listen to one of the interviews again and not know how to tackle it all over again. Even when the scientists would explain the topic and clarify it to me, I was still sometimes a little bit unsure and had to ask, so is this exactly what it means? And to be honest, the complexity of this issue intimidated me so much, and that held me back for a long time. I just really didn't want to mess it up. So, it took me a while, and then with the help of Laura Pritchett, I realized that as a writer, I can edit and edit and edit again until I get it right. So, as you guys can see, there are a few accounts and a few quotations from the story here. This story took persistence to get the interviews, it took time to prepare the questions, I had to do a lot of research so that I knew something about the topic and make sure that I was correctly understanding what I was learning. I had to transcribe and, of course, finish all that editing that I was talking about. If anyone's a really good editor, please let me know. I'll let you take a look at it too. I think this piece nicely embodies what science communication is all about, and I can't wait to cover other topics in the same manner in order to help people and myself understand these complicated issues better. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the first slide I put up Hika Magazine and Earth Island Journal because those are currently the publications that I'm thinking about sending this to. Thank you so much to everyone for sticking with me throughout my presentation. This project has given me a lot of confidence, hope, and excitement moving forward. I'm excited to be able to write more stories like this and find new ideas that need to be written about and talked about so that more people know what's going on. So if you guys have any more ideas, please let me know. This confidence and hope has also come from all those great people who have been supporting me throughout this past year. So that includes my family, of course, my advisor Jenny DeMarco, my community sponsor Brian Calvert, my writing mentor Laura Pritchett, who has kind of adopted me and helped me a lot with the writing side, the iCoral team, Jara and Robin, and of course the people at Corsi, and especially Fabian, Marnik, Ika, and Stefan. Thanks to Fawn for all the photos. They've been great. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day.